how I would finish off my pictures in Photoshop. I've done most of the work in Lightroom, so it is just those finishing touches. So this is baby Francesca. She's 6 days old, and I use a 50mm lens at f1.8 200th of a second, and my ISO was at 50. So the first thing that I'm going to do is open up my baby quick fix workflow actions by LSP and play. And I'm going to zoom down onto soft skin using the brush, select it to white, and it's at 100%. Next, I'm going to reduce the red, so I'm going to lower the opacity down a little bit. Over the fingers and just underneath the eye here. Next, warm skin tone. I'll try it at 47%, see how that looks. Yep, I'm happy with that. And the final step would be to brighten baby. So just take it along here, a little bit in there and under there. Okay, then I'm going to flatten. Next step is to use my Skin Deep Blotch Medium by Totally Rad. Play that action. At 100% opacity, and this just graduates the shadows with the mid-tones a bit more. Okay. The next one I really like by LSP is Add Depth. At 100% opacity, just over the baby's face. Yep, and that's perfect. Flatten those. I'm going to duplicate the layer, and I'm going to use my liquify tool, and I'm just going to reduce the size here. So bring in the shoulder area just to reduce the bulk. Okay, so after and before. Then I'm just going to pull the baby's hat in. Oh, you need to be selecting this one. Bring that in a little bit. Pull that out. Okay. Next, I'm going to reduce the size of the pillow. So I'm just going to bring this down. And we have after and before. Okay, and we finished with the liquify tool now. Flatten those, and the final step would be any kind of finishing overlay that you like. You know, this is where our own personal style comes in, but for me I use ombre. And just reduce the opacity a little bit. And then we have the before and after. So I'll flatten those and save. So the next one is Francesca in the bed. So there's a few things that I'll do here. We need to remove these, and I need to straighten up the bed a little bit and tidy the fabrics. So I'll use my spot healing brush. Okay. And then here, and here. So I'm just going to lighten this area. So I am going to click on the colour picker, select a colour, add a layer, select the brush and reduce the opacity down to about 21. And flatten the image, and then I will use my patch tool to just finish it off. Okay, maybe just that little area there. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the liquify tool and I'll be able to straighten this out and sort the bed. So duplicate the layer, filter, liquify, and zoom out a bit. And so now I'm going to just straighten out this line a touch. Alright, so now we're going to do the bed, and just going to bring these in here. Move baby's face over to the left a little bit. And okay, and that is almost it. I'm just going to neaten here. Before and after. Just going to move this over just a little bit. Right. And I'm very happy with that. So after and before. OK and flatten. And I'm just going to blend out these shadows and the highlights here. So duplicate the layer, the dodge and burn tool, dodge, going to lighten those midtones and the shadows. Okay, and flatten that. So now I'm going to use my Complete Baby Quick Fix, and I am going to do the soft skin 100%, zoom in, and then just avoiding the eye area. Under the nose, okay. Next, reduce the reds at 100 opacity this time, missing out the cheeks and the lips. Okay. Now warm skin tone, reduce the opacity down to about there. You can actually go over and put more of the image with this one, it's really nice. Okay. Final step is to brighten baby. Just across the forehead. Flatten those layers and then skin deblotch 100% here, and then just to soften these folds. Okay, add depth 100%. And flatten the image, and then use your finishing overlay. So I will use mine, and I'll just reduce the opacity to about there. So that's before and after, and then flatten image, and we're done. And then this one, we obviously need to remove the feet, the stand and shadows, and tidy up the bed. Duplicate the layer, use your colour picker palette, select a colour close to the area, 100%. Flatten, and then I'm going to use the patch tool, so I'm just going to select this area and then Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate the layer again, and I'm going to use the Dodge and Burn midtones at 17%, and I'm just going to run over these shadowy areas. Still not happy with this down here. Sometimes it doesn't work so well and other times it works perfectly. Alright. Okay. Right, so now we're going to go into the liquify tool and sort the bed out. And then I am going to reduce this area down here a little bit. And then the feet, sometimes these outfits are just a little bit big around the foot area. Okay, and then just going to drop the shoulders down just a little bit. Okay, so far this is before and after. And I think that we are done there. So click OK and flatten. Duplicate the layer. I'm going to use my spot healing brush for here and here. That's it. And then any distracting little marks I just remove. Alright. So flatten. Now, baby quick fix. Go down to soft skin. Zoom in. 100%. And then over we go. Avoiding the edges. Onto the hands. Then reduce the reds. Then brighten baby up just here. That's too much. So just reduce it down just a tiny bit. Okay, and we are done there, so going to flatten. my Totally Rad D-Blotch action at 100%. And add depth 100%. That's it. And then flatten. Now the baby's hands are quite a bit lighter than the face here, so I am going to create a new layer, select the baby's. I need to be selecting it on the actual layer, not the blank layer. And then selecting baby's hands. I've changed the way I'm going to do this now. Adjustment layer, curves, and I'm just going to darken them like this. Flatten, selects the area again. Adjustment layer, hue and saturation, the reds, and now I'm just going to warm them up so it matches the face. There we go. I am going to go back in to here and use the soft skin over the baby's hands. And then reduce the reds. All right. I'm going to check my levels, so Command L, and it can be a touch brighter. And I have finished. You can, I sometimes add a warm overlay. So let's just see what that's like. Just warms up the whole image, just a touch. So this is before, so I'm going to have it at 35%. And then Command S to save. If you have any questions, obviously get in touch. You can email me, WhatsApp me, whichever's easiest for you, and I'll be more than happy to help.